But first, it's been a dramatic day once again in Tamil Nadu national politics, and a dramatic late night development also, because AIDMK General Secretary Shashikala is, as we speak, leaving the Golden Bay Resort where she was parked for the last 36 hours amid speculation that maybe she will eventually have to surrender. Will she go to Poise Garden or not is uncertain. Meanwhile, Panneerselvam, her big rival, has gone to the Jaya Memorial at Chennai's Marina Beach, where he has been joined by Jayalalitha's niece, Deepa Jaykumar. Now, all this has happened on a day when the Supreme Court this morning put paid to Shashikala Natarajan's dreams of being the next Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. In a much-awaited verdict, the Apex Court held the AIDMK General Secretary guilty of corruption. Chinnamma has been asked to surrender immediately. The court verdict also casts a shadow on Jayalalitha's legacy, since she too was the original accused in the case.
Nothing less than a political quake in Tamil Nadu. A verdict which shatters chief ministerial dreams of Shashikala. A verdict which boosts the fortunes of the challenger. A verdict with the power to split Tamil Nadu's biggest political party.
It was exactly at 10:36 a.m. today that the bench led by Justice P.C. Ghosh pronounced Shashikala and the other accused guilty in the disproportionate assets case, putting all rumors of a split verdict or any other reprieve for Shashikala to rest. For now, Shashikala stands convicted by none other than the top court of the country.
The order overturned the Karnataka High Court verdict acquitting Shashikala and two others, saying she has to complete her 4-year jail term. With Shashikala already having spent 6 months in jail earlier, she now faces a 3.5-year jail term. The order asks her to surrender immediately.
Poise Garden or Vedanilayam, where Shashikala was housing herself after the passing away of J. Jayalalitha, is now completely silent here. People are not only they are very upset with the fact that she has been convicted and she'll have to spend the rest of her 4 years in jail, but they're also saying that this is a huge conspiracy, especially by OPS as well as the central government.
The mood was just the opposite at Panneerselvam's residence, with supporters breaking out into celebrations.
Look around me, the number of supporters who've gathered here at his residence. You know, this has become a makeshift area for supporters to get together as well. You can hear slogans being raised for Amma as well as for Panneerselvam. AIADMK flags in the air, people with all of their gear coming together here to once again salute Panneerselvam.
Amma's spirit and Amma's goodwill will protect the people of Tamil Nadu and the state. I'd like to inform all the people, all the leaders of all the parties, all the party cadre, and every person who has an undying love for Amma. I give you my complete assurance. It will only be Amma's goodwill. It's Amma's goodwill that's happening now.
The legal options in front of Shashikala are few. The verdict disqualifies her from becoming an MLA for 10 years and ends her dream to be Chief Minister. Effectively, the next destination for Shashikala will not be the Chief Minister's office, but a jail in Karnataka. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is now a battle of numbers. There's of course the verdict against Shashikala, but it's now completely about numbers. I want to give you the big numbers on our magic wall now in Tamil Nadu. Take a look at the numbers. And this is what the numbers are looking like at the moment. The numbers in Tamil Nadu. 235-member assembly. Many of my viewers are tweeting saying it's 234. You're wrong. One is a nominated. So with the nominated MP, it's 235. Therefore, 118 and not 117 becomes the magical figure. AIDMK has 135, DMK 89, Congress 8, nominated 1, vacant 1, which means that the halfway mark is 118. What's the situation at the moment? Mr. Panneerselvam is claiming the support at least of 10 MLAs. That would bring down the total of AIDMK to 125, just 7 above the halfway mark. Now, if he's able to increase those 10 MLAs to, let's say, 18, 17 or 18 MLAs, what happens then? Take a look at why there should be a worry. 18 MLAs and the number goes down to 117. The government is reduced to a minority. And there is the possibility of maybe the AIDMK splitting also and maybe joining with the DMK. So lots of possibilities. What lies ahead in the war for Tamil throne? Let's listen into the Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi, who made it clear no case for president's rule in Tamil Nadu and claiming that the governor's stand had been vindicated and a floor test was the only way forward. Listen in. In the total house strength, sir, of 235, the magic number is 118. The AIDMK has 135 at the moment. The DMK 89, Congress 8, vacant 1, nominated 1. Now, if more than a dozen MLAs join, or 17 MLAs in all, join the Panneerselvam camp, then the government loses majority. My point to you, sir, is that is there a possibility that you actually now have a situation where no one has a majority in Tamil Nadu as a result? And that is where president's rule comes in. Is that a possibility at all or not?
No, please. No, there is no possibility. I think you are mixing up two issues. If, as you said, they have 135,
yes,
which is more than the halfway mark.
Yes.
If a portion of the AIDMK legislators en bloc break away and go and join the DMK, by which AIDMK is reduced to a minority, it is in that situation that AIDMK government will fall and the question of anti-defection will arise. But that is not the situation at all. So we should look at the immediate step. Immediate step is to find the leader or the successor of this party who will be the chief minister of a group or a party which enjoys majority in parliament.
Right.
There is no question of anything else happening at the moment.
Okay, the rules there set by the AG. Let's then settle it. What does this day mean for Tamil Nadu politics and what lies ahead? N. Ram, former editor-in-chief of The Hindu, joining me. Raju Ramachandran, senior advocate, joining me. I'm also joined by Manu Sundaram of the DMK, KC Palaniswami, the AIDMK leader, Durai Pandian, member of the legal team of AIDMK, Sanjay Pinto, also lawyer and journalist, joining me from Chennai in the studios here, Biswajit Bhattacharya, former additional solicitor general. Lots of guests. In fact, I'm losing count of how many people we have, but I want to go to each of them one by one. N. Ram, first give me the big picture. What does this day mean for Tamil Nadu politics today and indeed national politics? The fact that Shashikala Natarajan, her bid to become chief minister, foiled, but importantly, could be spending the next 4 years in jail. What message has been sent out today, you believe, by the Supreme Court, sir?
I think there's a real risk of the AIDMK imploding right now because it's shocking that a fairly large number of MLAs, whether by duress or through commitment, are making a common cause with somebody who's been convicted of corruption, and she still seems to be ordering them around, telling them what to do, expelling people from the party, anointing somebody as a proxy successor, and so on. So I think it's quite, in fact, it's quite disgraceful that this is happening. And although we expected quick migration to the Panir OPS camp, it has not yet happened. So I don't know whether there's any justification for a composite protest, because Panneerselvam's camp doesn't seem to have anything like decent numbers, but they may have enough pull, enough capability to deny the Erapadi Palaniswamy regime, if it is sworn in, if he's invited by the governor to form the government, to win a majority. So it looks like the AIDMK is scoring a succession of own goals based on huge miscalculations. People seem to support Panneerselvam. The DMK is very strong, but I think the big picture suggests that they haven't got it. The AIDMK could be really imploding.
The AIDMK could be imploding today. MLAs are still with Shashikala on a day that she's been convicted. What does this say, KC Palaniswami? You're an OPS loyalist. The fact is the numbers are with Shashikala even now, as of now. Unless those MLAs are actually being kept in custody, which there is no evidence now of, how can you claim that you can form a government? The only government that can be formed is by your namesake. Edapadi Palaniswami, he can form the government because he has the numbers.
Yeah. In my parliamentary constituency, Mr. Edapadi Palaniswami was the MLA.
Yes.
And today, Rajdeep, one thing was unnoticed by everyone, that though it is said to be that Mr. Palaniswami has led it, but it is Mr. TTV Dinagaran, nephew of Ms. Shashikala, he only led it. And that Dinagaran is I think 25 crore some FERA violation. He was fined by the Chennai High Court, and he himself has declared as bankrupt. So still, Ms. Shashikala is only trying to control the government.
No, how does she control? Mr. Palaniswamy, the governor has to go by numbers. Please, this is not about character certificates. Please explain to me how come Subramaniam Swamy was on my program earlier this evening saying Panneerselvam is a media creation. He does not have the numbers. The numbers are with Palaniswamy. Shashikala's nominee still has the numbers.
No, the moment MLAs are freed from the resort, or the moment Shashikala surrenders before the court, then the next minute all the MLAs would come. And take it from me, no one from AIDMK would go to DMK, and the party will get united. The moment Shashikala surrenders before the court, all the MLAs collectively will select and support Mr. Panneerselvam, and a stable government will be given for the rest of 4.5 years term.
Durai Pandian, member of the legal team, when will that happen? When will Shashikala surrender? She's left the resort. We were told she may go to Poise Garden. Is she going to surrender anytime soon? She wants to file a review petition. And will her surrendering change the picture dramatically?
By late tomorrow. And if she doesn't surrender before tomorrow evening, the police team will come from Karnataka, and with the help of Tamil Nadu police, she will be taken back to Parpanagar jail.
Sir, but
she will be confined there.
Can you give me some assurance? Are you convinced that if she does go to jail, that the MLAs will suddenly switch sides?
On which ground.
Will the MLAs switch sides, sir? The moment she goes to jail, will they switch sides? Today
Definitely.
She has the majority.
There. One minute. Let me tell you, the MLAs whom they are said to be in the custody of Shashikala's group are virtually confined. And say about 400 to 500 goondas, hooligans surrounded the park resort. And if they get a chance, or if they come to know that Deepa Jayakumar has also joined us, they will definitely come forward. And they are only waiting.
No, you are saying surrounded by 400 and 500 gundas. I mean, this is just outside Chennai. What is going on, Sanjay Pinto? You're a young lawyer. You've been a former journalist.
Yes.
What is going on? Here, the AIDMK Panneerselvam camp is claiming that the MLAs are surrounded by gundas.
Let me finish this. Please.
No, you are claiming, Mr. Durai Pandian, you are claiming that the resort is surrounded by gundas. Where is the police?
To make a statement.
Mr. Durai Pandian, where is the police?
Yes.
Panneerselvam should send in the police
is there.
and remove the gundas.
Police, they are all in the... We can do that without any delay, but they will fetch sympathy on it. That is the reason. We are slowly approaching.
Sir, the police is under Mr. Panneerselvam. He is the caretaker chief minister. No, Mr. Durai Pandian. If the fact is...
Yes, that is what I am telling you.
So why can't he remove the gundas?
We cannot ask them to go and ambush the whole crowd.
Why not?
That is what, already 1,000 people are arrested in Chennai. 21 flag march was held yesterday. Day before yesterday. Police all are in duty only. They are doing their level best.
What's wrong? I'm sorry, Sanjay
these people are managing to stay there.
Sorry, Mr. Durai Pandian, I must stop you there.
Mr.
Durai Pandian, you are making an argument. Let me find out from the two journalists. First, you, Sanjay Pinto, you are a young lawyer and former journalist colleague of mine. Please tell me, what is the police doing? How can you explain the fact, according to Mr. Durai Pandian, member of the legal team AIDMK, close to Panneerselvam, that gundas have surrounded the resort, and are not allowing the MLAs to leave. This is absurd.
Rajdeep, to give you a small example now, let's say if there is going to be a contest between you and another senior anchor on television, and I switch off the lights, I don't give you proper audio, I give you an uncomfortable chair to sit, and then I tell you, why don't you prove your TRPs vis-a-vis the other person? That seems to be the case of what's happening now. It's not a level playing field. Why on earth should those MLAs continue to be confined in that resort? Why not set them free? You know,
but where is the police?
On Valentine's Day, perhaps
Mr. Pinto, where is the police?
No.
Mr. Pinto, there is a police in this country. There are collectors. Where are they? Are you telling me that Shashikala runs the whole state even today?
It's obvious.
Even after being convicted?
By the goings on
even
here,
after being convicted, she runs the state?
It's obvious that Mr. Panneerselvam's writ is not running here. It's obvious that he has no control over the police here. That's very clear. The caretaker chief minister. That's very clear. That's why otherwise he would have managed to get them. And there was an attempt by Panneerselvam's faction to go to the resort led by Mr. Pandya. But of course they came back. Of course later on he said on another channel that because 144 had been imposed, they didn't want to create a clash there. But it's clear that Mr. Panneerselvam is unable to get those MLAs freed from that resort, which is why there is this delay. And that is why the governor should not take signatures on a paper at face value, Rajdeep. The governor
just a minute.
has discretion.
Just a minute. N. Ram, given if this is the situation, we are reaching a constitutional breakdown. If MLAs, elected representatives, cannot come out of a resort because gundas have surrounded it according to some AIDMK members, then what hope do we have? That means Tamil Nadu's police cannot even rescue their own MLAs?
Acting fairly, at least there are considerable sections among them. They have not been obeying the chief minister's orders. I think it's pretty clear. And the MLAs are not free agents still. We do not know how many of them will stay with Palaniswami, but that can't be tested unless they are free. Maybe if they come to the floor of the assembly, they can behave as free agents, free persons. But
No,
right
but
now,
what,
the
sir,
situation
let me hold you, sir. So let me, there's a problem with your audio line. Let me hold you there. Raju Ramachandran, you know, as a senior lawyer, is therefore a constitutional breakdown staring Tamil Nadu, or is this simply an implosion of a party that can be resolved by getting all those MLAs under police protection? The governor tonight orders the police commissioner of Chennai or Kanchipuram, bring all the MLAs to the assembly tomorrow and have a floor test. I mean, what kind of bizarre situation otherwise are we facing?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So now that the Supreme Court judgment has come and Shashikala is out of the picture, now that a new leader has been elected, whether those signatures are authentic or not, the governor is not a handwriting expert. As long as there is a prima facie satisfaction that 125 or whatever have signed, surely if a session is held in the next 24 to 48 hours, those MLAs, if they have indeed been under duress, and I am willing to accept the possibility that that is so, the floor of the House is where they can express themselves freely. The Speaker can order a secret ballot. This should be done.
So should the governor tonight, sir,
chaos and towards a constitution.
Should the governor tonight order the police commissioner and the DG police of Tamil Nadu saying enough is enough, go into that resort, tell the MLAs they've got to come into the assembly by 5 p.m. tomorrow under police protection and get this vote done? Because otherwise, we are heading for a constitutional breakdown, Mr. Ramachandran.
There's one step before that.
Yes.
First, the governor should invite Palaniswami to form the government, swear him in and give him those 24 hours to prove his majority. And the MLAs should be directed to be brought under police escort, and the MLAs would be free to vote.
Soni Sorabji?
This floor test has to be in support of someone, and I don't...
Okay, I am taking your point. Let me bring in Mr. Bhattacharya on that.
Rajdeep, let me make one more point.
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry. Please go ahead, Mr.
Yes,
Ramchandran.
I wanted to say
Yes.
that this question of composite floor test, this composite floor test, which is a judicial innovation, that situation doesn't arise here because Palaniswami and Panneerselvam are not claimants at similar levels. Palaniswami has put forth a certain number of signatures.
Right.
Panneerselvam has very few numbers on his side and only says if the others had been free, they would have come to my side.
Right.
And therefore, the place where they will be free is the floor of the assembly, and Palaniswami has to test his strength there.
It's interesting, Bishwajit, but I respond because this is fascinating now. What is being suggested by Raju Ramachandran is invite Mr. Palaniswami, who claims he has the numbers, swear him in as Chief Minister, like Jagdambika Pal was in Uttar Pradesh, give him 48 hours to prove his majority on the floor of the House. The other view is that don't invite anyone, just take all the MLAs under police escort to the Tamil Nadu Assembly, have a secret ballot and decide who has the majority. Which view do you favor?
I would personally favor the view that the governor should make an assessment right now that whoever has that magic figure of 117, he should immediately ask the person concerned, whoever it may be. It may be O.P. Panneerselvam, it may be Palaniswami, to form the government. And within the next 24 hours or 48 hours, the person concerned should be asked to prove majority.
So you also don't believe it should be a composite floor test?
Composite floor test, Rajdeep, was tried under the judicial order. Supreme Court had specifically passed an order when Kalyan Singh and Jagdambika Pal were fighting over the chair. It was under the supervision of the Supreme Court.
And they were different parties. They were different parties. Now it's the same party, which is a difference.
And now there is no Supreme Court order at all.
But the thing is, at the moment, you will then be in a situation where Mr. Palaniswami is claiming he has 117 MLAs. I can put out a notice tomorrow, I have 117 MLAs. Should the governor not test that or only test it on the floor of the House? So for 48 hours, Palaniswami gets to be Chief Minister. We don't know whether they are under duress or not.
It is up to the governor to form his own independent assessment about the respective counterclaims of the contending parties.
Okay, but he's had a lot of time at the moment to do that. He's had a lot of time, the governor, to decide who should be called. Let me get in Mr. Palaniswami. This is not the real Palaniswami, this is the MP Palaniswami, former MP. Mr. Swami, are you okay with this? Mr. Palaniswami? That if Mr. Palaniswami is invited, give him 48 hours to prove his majority. Are you all okay with this?
No, not okay. See, there is a third option. Mr. Panneerselvam being the sitting Chief Minister, first he should be given the chance to prove his majority,
but he doesn't,
which he will. Then I'm coming to that. Then there is an extra option. You asked a question why the police has not stepped in and free the MLAs. When Shashikala is going to surrender in another 24 hours, why should we unwantedly create a law and order problem in the state? Let her move out to the jail. Then all the MLAs would come and Mr. Panneerselvam will stake his claim in the floor of the House, because the test is not by the signature, it is in the floor of the House. All the MLAs would support Mr. Panneerselvam. Under the leadership of Mr. Panneerselvam, AIDMK government would continue to function for next 4.5 years.
Actually, I would like to know how many MLAs today.
Let me take a break, sir. I'll come back to your views. It's fascinating what we have, because this is a ticklish constitutional position now. Should an individual be sworn in first and then asked to prove his majority on the floor of the House? Or should the floor test take place first and then the governor decides on who? Should rather be a very incongruous situation in the country. But as we head into the break, listen in to Deepa Jaikumar, the niece of Jayalalitha, who has joined hands with Panneerselvam. They have been gone to the Jayalalitha memorial. This is what she told our correspondent. We'll be back with more.
Madam, the Supreme Court has pronounced the judgment. What is your reaction?
It's an excellent verdict, and Shashikala and her family have been long deserving this, because they were cheating on Madam Jayalalitha and trying to take over, seize the opportunity and grab power and mislead the people of Tamil Nadu, and also the AIADMK cadre claiming to be her legacy, which is very false. And moreover, the wealth case itself was prompted in the first place because of Madam Shashikala, and her family, because they wanted a grand wedding for her sister's son Sudhakar.
Welcome back to this special coverage here on India Today, where we are looking ahead at the drama that's taken place in Tamil Nadu. Who will be invited by the governor is the big question on a day when Shashikala Natarajan was convicted and will be sent to jail for at least 4 years. Let's raise that question then, which is, will there now be president's rule? Raju Ramachandran, are we invariably somewhere heading towards president's rule? If this implosion of the AIADMK results in a situation where no side seems to have a clear majority, are we heading for president's rule?
Not yet, Rajdeep. If Palaniswami is invited first and he fails to prove his majority because the MLAs have voted against him, then Panneerselvam can legitimately stake his claim. Then Panneerselvam will get a chance to prove his majority. And if he proves his majority, then there's no question of instability. It's only if Panneerselvam also fails that we are looking at a situation where president's rule is the only option. Right now, I think in the course of the next 3 or 4 days, this situation can be sorted out if the person who has gone forward with prima facie evidence that he has the majority is given a chance to test his majority.
The problem is the prima facie evidence, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Panneerselvam will succeed.
Sir, no. The problem, sir, is what you call prima facie evidence is being called by the other side as actually forcible, MLAs being forcibly kept in custody, Mr. Bhattacharya. That's the problem. Is this prima facie evidence that I go with a letter, I come back to it, I go with a letter, 117 MLAs are with me. But the reality may be that those MLAs are actually being kept under forcible custody. Should the governor send someone from the police to investigate this or not once again? Or is that not necessary? You're swearing in a chief minister. Do I swear in a chief minister without investigating whether those MLAs actually support Palaniswami or not?
The governor should invite the list from both OPS as well as Palaniswami. And once and that he must do within a day or two maximum. And once he does that, like they say in Hindi, दूध का दूध हो जाएगा, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा. Then he can easily form an opinion and immediately invite and ask him to prove the majority in the floor of the house in terms of the Bommai judgment. But in case the governor straight away goes in for composite floor test in tune with Jagdambika Pal judgment of the Supreme Court, then there is a possibility that none of the contending parties may reach that magic figure. And in such an eventuality, the whole constitutional machinery fails, because none of the parties, if they can form the government, DMK with 89 seats will jump into the fray. Then the governor will form an opinion that no party, no group can form a stable government. Then he will be constrained to send a report to President Pranab Mukherjee under Article 356 that there is a failure of the Constitution.
So you think this is heading towards president's rule?
There is a possibility, if straight away composite floor test is allowed, there is a distinct possibility that some of the MLAs, 15, 25 MLAs may switch sides, preventing either party from forming a government, which is a very much staring in the face in my assessment.
I'm going to go to our reporters in a moment, because I want to find out what Shashikala intends to do next. Sanjay Pinto, while we debate the legal question, there is the question today of a formidable politician, or someone who has become a politician by her proximity to a formidable politician, let me correct myself, who today faces an extended jail term. She intends to review this judgment apparently. She wants 4 weeks' time before she surrenders. What do you believe are Shashikala's options? What is she likely to do now, Sanjay Pinto?
Rajdeep, the legal options aside, what was the legislative intent of the Representation of People Act, particularly Section 8 dealing with disqualification, is to keep people accused of certain offences, particularly corruption, away from the electoral process. By continuing to remain there and keeping those MLAs under her control, the bulk of the MLAs, the entire election process is being vitiated, and that is what is denying Mr. Panneerselvam's camp a fair chance.
No, you're saying they've been denied a fair chance. We are showing you pictures. These are pictures of Shashikala breaking down. These are pictures of Shashikala breaking down with her MLAs once again in the resort. Palaniswami,
then why are people scaling the wall and jumping out, Razi? Why do people have to escape? The survival instinct will kick in. If you're going to swear in Palaniswami first, I mean, I'm talking purely as a neutral lawyer here, then the risk of all these MLAs now, the survival instinct will kick in. They've hardly completed 1 year in office. They will want to complete the remaining 4-year period, 4+ years. And they will know which side their bread is buttered and side which particular side is going to form the government.
Can I come back to these dramatic pictures of Shashikala once again breaking down? Now, Palaniswami, what does this breakdown mean? Either she is emotionally blackmailing them, or the fact is that these MLAs for some reason are loyal to her. Maybe it's money, power. Maybe they believe that her family, they have obligations with the family. As of today, as of today, there is no hard evidence to say that she has kept them under custody. So when she is breaking down like this, Mr. Palaniswami, her MLAs may well be loyal to her. Maybe you've underestimated Shashikala, that even in jail, she will run these MLAs, she will control the MLAs.
No, Rajdeep, let us not forget that even this Edappadi Palaniswami, who has been nominated by Shashikala, he is continued to be the minister under Mr. O. Panneerselvam. And before February 5th, the government was functioning very well. All the MLAs has been supporting to Mr. Panneerselvam. It is not no confidence, or none of the MLAs has come out saying that they don't have the confidence on Mr. Panneerselvam. So yes, and today technically the government is functioning, though Mr. Panneerselvam
Mr. Palaniswami, you have a chief minister who cannot even get the police into the resort to get the MLAs out. What kind of a chief minister is Mr. Panneerselvam? Ms. Shashikala seems to have the power to retain the... No, Mr. Palaniswami, please tell me, you are saying that Mr. Panneerselvam is the chief minister. Can the chief minister not even order the police commissioner to get the MLAs out? It obviously means Shashikala has more power.
No, we can order police to do it. But in any case, when Supreme Court has directed Ms. Shashikala to go and surrender, she has to surrender by tomorrow at least, or in a day or two. The moment she moves out, all the MLAs are going to support Mr. Panneerselvam. So why should we create a law and order situation in the state?
That is your hope, that they will support Mr. Panneerselvam.
That is not the hope. It is, see, even 2 days back also I told in every channel that Shashikala is going to end up like Ms. Janaki. What happened when Janaki faction and Amma faction were fighting? Ultimately Janaki given up, and Amma's factor has emerged as the real AIDMK. So this is what is now taking place. Shashikala will be kept out of the AIDMK, and every MLA and every party cadre are going to be united. A collective leadership will emerge, and the government will continue, and the party will be united.
Let me consider taking a break now. As we see these dramatic pictures of Shashikala breaking down, this is not the first time that she's broken down. The question is whether this is end game now for Shashikala. Can she make a comeback by putting her nominee Palaniswami in the chief minister's chair, or will she tomorrow at this time be going to jail in Karnataka? What lies ahead for Shashikala? That's my final segment on a day when Shashikala Natarajan has been sent to jail, and in a sense Jayalalitha's legacy also finds itself now under the scanner. Back in a moment with a little bit more. Welcome back. A day of high drama in the continuing focus on Tamil Nadu. This is a never-ending film which even Rajnikant would find difficult to match. Lots of twists and turns on a day when Shashikala Natarajan has been convicted and will spend the next 4 years in jail. Those emotional pictures or pictures of an emotional Shashikala weeping before her party MLAs at the resort. I want to understand, Raju Ramachandran, you're hearing different views. The Panneerselvam camp is insisting that these MLAs have been kept in forcible custody, which is why they believe that Panneerselvam must be given the first chance to form the government. What's your view, your final view?
Rajdeep, surely a belief as against a list of names backed by signatures. What should prevail? It should be the signatures, and as I have been saying, I'm willing to concede that the MLAs are not free agents. If they are not, they will vote freely on the floor of the House. But that is not a reason either to give a resigned Chief Minister Panneerselvam the first chance, nor is it the reason to do this composite floor test, which is essentially a judicial innovation.
Okay.
If we have to follow the practices of parliamentary democracy, governor has to exercise his political judgment. He has to exercise his political judgment. He has to take a call. He should be prepared to take a risk and be wrong. But acting governor, please act now.
Would it be right? Someone has, my old friend GC Shekhar, a journalist, has called Shashikala to me on my WhatsApp a bandit queen. Sanjay Pinto, do you believe Shashikala has been shown up today to be no Jayalalitha? Jayalalitha was convicted, but even in jail was able to control the party because of her stature. And Shashikala Natarajan may sooner or later realize that she is no Jayalalitha.
Rajdeep, Jayalalitha was Jayalalitha and Shashikala is Shashikala, and I don't think the twain will ever meet. Jayalalitha had the charisma and had the massive fan following. There was psychophancy as well when she ruled to be able to remote control and founded and managed to find a trusted lieutenant in O. Panneerselvam. This is a classic case of Jayalalitha's proxy versus Shashikala's proxy that's playing out here in Tamil Nadu.
Because, you know, the question at the end of the day, Mr. Palaniswami, is somewhere today, it's not just Shashikala under the scanner, but Jayalalitha's legacy also. We are now being told that her portraits will be removed from all offices, question mark over a memorial. She was the first person convicted in the case. I hope you know that, Mr. Palaniswami. She was accused number one. In a sense, Shashikala was only the collaborator in the DA case. So today is a day when the AIDMK cannot separate Shashikala's conviction from Jayalalitha as well. Yes, she is no longer with us, but the fact is that Jayalalitha will be seen now as a convicted politician.
Yeah, Rajdeep, if you could see Amma's statement in 2011, that is this family, this Mannargudi Mafia family, it is they who created the wealth for themselves by using Amma's
blessed
power.
By Amma.
And that is,
Amma blessed them.
Yeah,
they created the wealth under Amma's nose. Please, we cannot distance Jayalalitha from Shashikala, sir. It's not as if Shashikala was the only person. You are saying Amma had nothing to do with Shashikala's wealth creation.
Yes, she has nothing. See, when she left this world, what did she carry? She doesn't carry anything there. It is this family misused the name of Amma. And one thing I want to point out, see, AIDMK has come across for 45 years, leader to cadre type of politics. Now, cadre to leader politics is emerging in AIDMK, so that will succeed.
Sir, let's be honest, MGR was never cadre, he was always leader. Jayalalitha was, because of her proximity to MGR, she became Chief Minister. Biswajit Bhattacharya, I'm afraid we've run completely out of time, but you wanted 10 seconds as you smiled. 10 seconds.
You see, the question is, Tamil Nadu deserves a full-time governor. And Tamil Nadu governor has to act decisively within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, this will give rise to horse trading.
But it's already given rise, some would say, to the most ugly form of resort politics, the last resort for Shashikala as she weeps there is, I'm afraid, jail. And I repeat what I've been saying through this evening, howsoever high you be, the law is always higher than you. Shashikala Natarajan has learned that lesson to her cost. Whether she gets her nominee chief minister or not, I'm afraid Shashikala Natarajan, her political career, at least for now, is over. Thank you very much for joining us. Dare I say, good night, vanakkam. Bye for now.